So people, it's Killam Defoe. So today, we're going to be breaking down the sample that was used in one of Russ's latest singles called Tired. And this, the original sample is from my sample pack versions, and it's the title track. So funnily enough with this sample, this was the last sample I actually made when I was making this pack. And it's definitely my favourite one. Usually that happens when it gets down to making samples. Usually when I'm finishing up a sample pack, most of the time it's the last one I make that's my favourite one. And for this pack, it definitely was. It's definitely up there. So here's a little breakdown of it. So I'll go through each element. There's not much processing going on with this. It's literally just compression, delay, and reverb. But it's all about how the elements are interacting with each other. So the premise for this sample was I wanted to experiment with my voice because I hadn't done that much up to that point. And I thought it'd be cool to kind of get like a call and response thing going on. I think this sample actually started with the vocals, but here's the sample anyway from start to finish. Okay, so that's it. So let's break it down. We'll start with the guitar. So here's what it sounds like soloed. Yeah, so that's the first part. Here's the second part. Okay, so with the guitar, the processing on it is really simple. It's literally just the stock Amplitude 4 preset. It's the American Tube Clean 1, and it's this amp. So, and it's the same with the other guitar elements as well, even the bass. I must have just been impatient and just stuck the same thing on everything, but it worked. You know, it was just a vibe. I wasn't thinking about it too much. I was just in the zone at that time. So the first section, it's got a lot more going on, but it's still leaving space. And then the second one, it's got more space to let the other elements breathe. So at this point, it's got like the organ doing the runs and the little solo-y bits. So it's not doing as much. So the second, and then we'll go to the whirly. And the second part. So each element's filling in gaps of where other things aren't playing. You know, like the whole thing is kind of like a call and response thing. I think that's why it works really well. I think that's why I like it a lot. So with that, it's literally just the Wurlitzer from Keyscape, the 140B. It's got compressor. It's just compressing it. It's got saturation and reverb. Oh, I love me Valhalla vintage reverb. I think I overused it on this sample though. It's got a lot of reverb on it. So next sound is another guitar sound. So this sound here is actually playing the same line as the low vocal. Well, a similar line. And it's literally just the same preset. Just the stock preset from Amplitude 4. And that's it. There's nothing else on it. The bass. I forgot this. Within the context of the mix, it doesn't sound distorted, but when you listen to it on its own, it's got distortion on it, and a lot of reverb on it, which I wouldn't never usually put reverb on bass, but I must have just kept it because I like the way it sounded. So yeah, that's the bass. Really simple. Then there's a little chime sound. Sort of introduce the new section. Really simple. Then here's the kind of meat and potatoes of it all, really. This is like so the vocal stack. Actually, we'll listen to the organ and the strings together first. So there's some sections where the organ's playing and so are the strings. Some section where the strings are just playing and other things are filling in the gaps. And this is quote unquote the solo section. So for the strings, it's literally just the Amadeus Symphonic Orchestra. It's in the string ensemble section and it's violins 2, staccato. That's what I used for that. And then literally with just some reverb on it. Really simple. Nothing too fancy. Then for the organ, what the organ sound is the basic Gospel 1 from the Vintage Organs library in Contact. With a bit of soothe. Now, if people, not a lot of people might know about this plugin, but I love this plugin. And basically, it can be used for a lot of things, but basically what it is, it's good at taming resonant frequencies. So when something sounds a little bit harsh, you can stick soothe on it, and it kind of tames some of the resonant peaks. It's really, really good plugin. And then just reverb. Really, really simple. The thing that I like the most, obviously, within the sample, though, is the vocals. Now, I hadn't really experimented with vocals much before this sample. And I must have started singing something and I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then, the sample sort of came from that. So if you listen to... Usually I don't solo my vocals because they're god awful, but this time I will. So... So, the low vocal, it's also got another vocal an octave up, which I would have sang the same melody and then just used Little Altar Boy to pitch it up, and then use the formant to sort of make it sound more female-esque, but it doesn't really sound very female. It's always hard trying to turn a male voice into a female voice when you're making samples, especially for the way I'm trying to do it with using Little Altar Boy and stuff. There's always a lot of like weird artifacts and stuff, but I think it sounds nice when they're both layered together like that. You can't really tell as much. And then for these higher vocals, so you've got one singing one melody, and then the one underneath it is doing like a little counter melody, which I think makes it stand out a lot. So I've got that, and then just a little bit of compression, some saturation, delay, and then reverb. And that's what it's like for the vocals. So they're the vocals, and then literally the last sound is this. It's the glockenspiel sound with delay on it. The 2 analog delay from Ableton, so this is like a stock Ableton plugin. It's really good. I love it. I use it a lot. So yeah, that is the sample. So I hope everyone enjoyed watching the video, and this is obviously just a little insight to how it was made. It's really simple, but I think the idea was strong, and I really enjoyed making the sample regardless. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'd just like to thank everyone that made this happen, everyone that's been tuning in, listening to the song, showing me love. It means a lot. So big thanks to Chris and the Dav from Who Sampled for sorting this out, getting all the behind the scenes things done. Big shout out to Wave Warehouse, the Sample Lab, Unknown Sounds, and also a big shout out to Tommy Beats, because he was the first person to actually let me know that this was happening. So one night I was out with my friends at band practice. I got a DM from Tommy saying, "Oh, yo, bro, I've got something to show you." And usually, I thought it'd be all right. He's showing me a beat, or he's showing me a sample he's made. So I was like, "Yeah, no problem, man. Once I get back home, I'll call you." So as soon as I called him, he was like, "Yo, bro, Russ has used your sample, bro." I was like, "Oh my God, what?" So I didn't believe him at first, and he sent me the video, and obviously I was super shocked, because I've been listening to Russ for years, and like not too long ago, before it happened, I was like, man, it'd be cool to get a Russ placement, and it happened, which is kind of crazy how things work out. So yeah, so big ups to Tommy for letting me know. He was super excited, I was super excited, but at this point I didn't know who it was placed with, because my packs are everywhere at the minute, but I found out it was placed with Who Sampled. So yeah, it's a really good feeling that someone that I've been listening to for a long time messes with the music enough to make a track with it. So it's a big blessing. So thank you for everyone who supported me up until now, and hopefully more coming soon. I got some new packs dropping in the next coming months. I'm making a few soul packs, so I'm just going to be working hard. And if anyone wants to grab that pack, it's out everywhere. Sample Lab, Wave Warehouse, Unknown Marketplace, and also at the New View Collective. If you want to support me directly, you can go over to my website. But yeah, thanks to everyone watching, and hopefully you enjoyed it. Take care.